Hey, Kalidas here. Thanks for joining me. I just want to do a quick little yoga class. We'll see how quick on back pain. I'm going to be focusing on this upper back up in here. Um, there's a few things you can do for this, and one of the best ones is not actually the yoga pose per se. Um, Truth is, anything can be a yoga pose. So one of the first things we'll do is we're just going to take one arm across the body. Just going to use this hand to stretch it. Just help pull it in, and I'm going to also be pulling it that way. I'm going to lengthen it that way a little bit. And relax the shoulder. And that will already start to release and stretch that area. For me, it's up in here just a little bit. Now I'm going to bring this arm down to diagonal. And that changes the stretch a little bit too. That for me is more in the shoulder. But it could be just the thing for you. So I include it. Different poses affect people different ways. If we take this other arm, we're just going to reach it out long and across the body and help it. Hold that for a little bit. And then we're going to drop it down. And this is primarily a shoulder stretch. But if you're getting a good stretch in your back, then do it more after this or pause the video. Okay, now one that really brings it into up in here is the eagle. So we're just going to bring one arm up. I'm not doing right and left. That can get confusing. So this happens to be my right arm. It may look opposite to you on the video. And I'm just going to bring this other arm under and around. I'm going to place my hands together here a little bit. This is ideal here. Grab the thumb if you have to. If you're really tight, get a cloth of some kind. It can just be a washcloth or something, or a towel, and just hold that for yourself. So I adjusted that. We want this to really hook in around the elbow. Otherwise, if it's here, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So you want to really get that to hook in. We're going to lift this arm up. Reach the arms up and away. Now, I'm a big believer in moving around in these poses. So I'm going to shift around a little bit. And as I shift around, as I shift over here, I can feel that stretch coming in to this upper part of the body, of the back, I should have said. As I shift around, I'm going to really work this around a little bit too. Now my arm is slipping off a little bit here, but that actually helps me. In my case, it's helping a little bit to shift that over just a little bit. So the exact form, I'm not a big believer in exact forms. I do appreciate exact forms, but if you get a stretch from breaking away from standard, then that's what matters, isn't it? Let's try this other side. Yep, for me, nothing over here. Doesn't really do anything but dig my arm into my other arm a little bit more and then become uncomfortable. Okay, so switching around to the other side. I'm going to try the same thing. I'm moving away from this top arm or rotating away from it. And it wasn't getting a stretch, but I brought my elbows in a little closer to my body, and that's when the stretch came in. That's when I could feel it. So find where you get that best stretch. Work it around. Just find it. You might even find it here. Oh, that's actually kind of good. So you see, it doesn't really matter. Arching my back doesn't really help much. Right there, all of a sudden, I just was trying to go somewhere completely different, and there I found a nice stretch. So you see how awkward this looks, and yet, who cares? I'm getting a nice stretch up here. So moving around really helps. Now, this one is the real moving around. Unfortunately, not everybody can get this, so I'm going to go on and on and on about this. I've taught this in my classes a number of years, and I've had people say, I just don't feel it, and I come around and I just show them, and they get it. So I can't do that with you right now. So that's why I'm just going to keep talking about it again and again, more and more. If you get tired of hearing about it, I'm sorry, because you've gotten it. That's great, but some people won't, so we're going to try and help them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, there's two ways you can do this. You can just hook your fingers with each other like this. I'm going to start there. The other one is to grab the wrist or upper arm if your wrist has got issues, and we'll shift to that in a moment. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pull apart isometrically. So I'm pulling apart this way. I'm going to round the shoulders, round the back a little bit, rolling the shoulders up and forward, and the arms are flexing out forward, and I'm pulling apart. And as I pull apart, what's happening is these muscles are activating. They're getting the tension on them from the pulling apart. And that tension on them, they're going to actually kind of rub against each other in this tension, especially as you move around a little bit. So here I am. I'm already feeling that stretch up here. If you're not feeling it yet, really pull your shoulders forward. That's one of the things that really causes an issue for people. Oh, and check it out. As I move my arm straighter, I get a better stretch. I pull it in here, the stretch moves around. As I rotate, this is where you're really going to get different stretch. And here's where I'm going to shift because I want to activate this forward side. I'm going to shift and I'm going to grab that arm or wrist, and I'm going to pull that forward. I'm pulling the shoulder forward. I'm pulling the arm that way, a little bit away from me, but mostly the direction the arm is pointing. And that really brings that in. I roll the back a little bit more. As you roll the back forward, the stretch will tend to go down further, lower on the back here, more towards the shoulder blade, just under the shoulder blade. I'm just going to try going over here. I happen to know that's not going to do anything, but it might for you. For me, I know it's not because I need to now activate this arm and pull it forward. So you're moving around, you're finding these different areas, and you can also, I'm going to switch back to holding the fingers, you can bring the arms up overhead a little more. And as you do that, and round the back, now I'm flexing out too far this way, I found. If I bring it in just a little bit more, now remember, keep pulling those shoulders forward, then that moves the stretch down the back further. It's not going to go much below the shoulder blades, but isn't that where we get a lot of tension from the shoulder blades up pretty much? The rest of that area doesn't really get as much of a problem. So really, what I did there, that little shift, is I really pulled these shoulders forward. I actually rolled them up and forward a little bit. You see, I changed my grasp. I'm just holding my hand. Any way that's comfortable for you, whatever you like, is going to work. And again, I'm going to rotate around a little bit. Now, another way to think about this, pulling this arm, is think about it as pulling it around like a curve. Like if you had a shield, if you were holding a shield, remember the old shields in the Sword and Shield Day? That curves around, following the inside curve of that shield. That's how you can think about rotating this arm around. Will help. And rotating around, just moving where the arms are. When they're in here, I don't get as good of a stretch. When they're up there, it's different. Here, it's different. It's all different. All changes depending on where you go and how you work that. Okay, now we've been bending the body forward quite a bit. Let's arch it back just a little bit on our stretch. Okay, I like to breathe into poses too. So that's why I did that. We did that inhale and then exhale back into the arch. So, okay, so that's helped a bit. I don't tend to have a lot of tension up here lately, but when I do have it, and I practice this, I'm like, oh, why didn't I think about this sooner? I forgot about my own little trick. So anyway, let me know how that works for you. I'd love to read your comments and anything else you have to say. Any critique, positive or negative. I really appreciate all comments. I don't really get my feelings hurt too bad. I am a sensitive type, but I've also been around for a while, so get used to it. And that's where you get your best ability to grow, is from your detractors. Not that you're a detractor necessarily, maybe you're just telling me I could do this a little better. That's fine. I appreciate that. Any comment. So leave that here, either under the video or on my blog, excuse me, kalidasa.com. I'll put it under here for you. And just let me know how you like what I'm doing and what you might like me to do. You can hit the comment tab and send me a message that goes straight to my email, and I'll respond to you from my email, so you'll have my private email address. My private, not really private, but primary. I don't care if you have it. I just really appreciate you and anything you have to tell me or ask. So ask away. I love to make videos to answer questions too. So thank you for your time today, and namaste.